Hey, what's up guys, Will here for GSM Arena. I can't believe that half of 2019 has come and gone already, and we've seen so many smartphone releases. It's a lot to keep track of. So we've put together a list of some of the best phones we've reviewed so far this year. They're arranged by price category, but otherwise they're in no particular order. And if any of these pique your interest, you can find links down in the description below for each one's full review. So let's get started with the lower mid-range category. These phones cost the equivalent of 200 euros or less, but they may surprise you with the amount of value they offer. First up, we have the REALME 3, the least expensive option on this list. Made by OPPO's sister company, REALME, this is the best choice in this category performance-wise, with its Helio P60 or P70 chipset, depending on the market. Battery life is stellar, and the camera performance isn't bad either. It has a large LCD screen, though at 720p it isn't the sharpest one around. Just keep in mind that the REALME 3 is hard to find outside of select regions. Next we have the Redmi Note 7, also called the Note 7S in the Indian market. This phone checks all the boxes. It has sturdy build quality and excellent battery life. Performance is solid with its Snapdragon 660 chipset. The camera is great too, even able to go head-to-head against some flagships. One of our only nitpicks is that you can't record 4K video natively, but you can get around this by downloading a third-party camera app. Our next category is for proper mid-range and upper mid-range phones. These are going for around 400 euros or less. Expect a bit more from these guys feature-wise, but they still come with some compromises. We'll start off with the Samsung Galaxy A50. We like this phone's eye-catching finish. And its AMOLED panel is great, even though it does have a notch cutout. Battery life is impressive too. The triple camera setup has a main cam, an ultra-wide, and a depth sensor, and it does well in good light, but poorly at night. You don't get 4K video recording here. We also didn't like the loudspeaker quality, which is really lacking in the high frequencies. If you're looking for an upgrade over the A50, you might look no further than the Galaxy A70. For just 50 euros more, the Galaxy A70 brings a bigger screen and better performance with a Snapdragon 675. Battery life is quite similar to the A50, though you do have faster power delivery charging here. There are also higher resolution main cameras on both the front and the back, but we still didn't like the low light shots from the A70. And there is 4K video recording, but it doesn't have stabilization. Next is the Xiaomi Mi 9. This upper mid-ranger comes with a good-looking notched OLED screen and a flagship-level Snapdragon 855 chipset. Battery life is great too, and there's fast charging. Plus it has a triple camera setup with a regular, telephoto, and ultra-wide cam, and they do a pretty good job. We do wish there was OIS on the camera though, and storage isn't expandable. Oh, and there's no headphone jack here. If you've got your eye on the Mi 9, the upcoming Mi 9T or K20 will be a cheaper version. It'll have a notchless AMOLED screen, a pop-up selfie cam, and probably better battery life. On to the next category, 500 euros or less. These phones aren't quite full-on flagships, but they're just about there, maybe lacking in just a couple of features. First, we have the Pixel 3a XL. In a lot of ways, we prefer this phone over its more expensive flagship siblings. It has much better battery life, and includes a headphone jack, while still bringing a nice OLED screen, and flagship-grade quality with its single camera. It doesn't have a flagship-grade chipset, but a Snapdragon 670, with just 4 GB of RAM. Also, storage isn't expandable here. Next, the ASUS ZENFONE 6. There's a flagship-level Snapdragon 855 for great performance. And with a 5000 mAh battery, battery life is excellent. You even get a headphone jack. You don't get an OLED display, but an IPS LCD, though it is totally notchless. The ZENFONE 6 brings a unique flip design that allows you to take regular photos, ultra-wide photos, and selfies with the same camera setup. These are good quality too, though low-light performance isn't the best out there. And now we've reached flagship territory. All of these phones are selling for more than 600 euros, in some cases way more. But if you're looking for the most cutting-edge device, it's not going to come cheap. Here we go. First, we have the OnePlus 7 Pro. This phone isn't marketed as a gaming phone per se, but it can give them a run for their money. It has blazing fast performance with a Snapdragon 855 chipset and options of up to 12 gigs of RAM, as well as a large OLED display with a fast 90Hz refresh rate. And you have stereo speakers too. The screen is notchless, as the selfie cam is on a motorized slider. Its triple camera setup is a bit behind the other flagships quality-wise, and we wish storage was expandable. Battery life is decent, but nothing amazing. And like many other flagships these days, there's no headphone jack here. Moving on to the Huawei P30 Pro. It's the latest and greatest from Huawei, with a cutting-edge chipset and excellent battery life. Its most impressive feature is its triple camera setup, which provides 5 times optical zoom and outstanding shots, even at night, thanks to advanced processing. We do wish you could record 4K video at 60 FPS, and there's no audio jack here. And storage is expandable, but you need to use one of Huawei's proprietary NM cards to do it. It also isn't really clear if the P30 Pro will hold its value, as the future of Huawei is a bit up in the air due to the USA ban. If you want to avoid this, the OPPO RENO 10x zoom is a potential alternative. This phone stands out from the pack with exceptional battery life and VOOC fast charging. It also has a pop-up selfie cam, but this one has a unique shark fin design. Because of that, the OLED display is notchless, and there are stereo speakers as well, but no headphone jack. Of course, you have the latest Snapdragon chipset under the hood, so performance is top-notch. Its triple cameras perform great too, though the default zoom levels aren't optical, but actually 6x and 10x hybrid zoom. And for some reason, video recording is only available through the main cam. Next, we have two phones which are almost identical, the Samsung Galaxy S10 and the S10 Plus. They both bring the latest chipset, as well as an incredible dynamic AMOLED screen with a hole punch cutout. The Plus model's cutout is larger thanks to its dual selfie cam. Both have stereo speakers and a headphone jack. The S10 Plus also has a bigger battery, so it has good battery life compared to the S10s, which is just average. The S10 and S10 Plus have excellent camera performance with their triple cameras, taking great shots no matter the conditions. And finally, we have the Sony XPERIA 1. It has a class-leading 4K HDR OLED screen with a 21:9 aspect ratio, as well as stereo speakers, ideal for a cinematic experience. Of course, with the latest chipset, the gaming experience is great too. And the tall screen is also nice for scrolling apps and multitasking. The triple cameras have great performance that can go head-to-head against any other flagship out there. As for negatives, the side-mounted fingerprint reader isn't too reliable. Battery life is average. And there's no headphone jack. So there you have it guys, a summary of this year's hottest smartphone so far. If you're looking to buy a new phone, this is a good place to start. There are a couple of things to keep in mind though. Don't forget about older devices from 2018 or even earlier. You can find some pretty nice deals out there. And of course, this list is just from our own reviews on our channel. Did we miss any that you're excited about? Let us know down in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching and see you on the next one.